When it comes to education for all, I think that all students' needs have to be addressed by the teacher in the classroom regardless of the resources available to the school or to the teacher. I think that this defined relationship needs to be established between each student and the teacher in order for the child to feel comfortable enough to actually learn. There are multiple factors that enable a student to learn, such as there must be a certain level of safety that each student must feel, and that is the responsibility of the teacher to make sure that that happens.
ABC is here because we believe in education. We believe in a quality education for all children, especially children from working class families who will benefit from having this access. We're here with a lot of other organizations because we believe it's important to collaborate with the other organizations that share in this vision for equality and access in education. We're here because we work with families that every day tell us about their challenges, and we know how important it is to empower these families to be a part and take ownership of their children's education.
After our class discussion about education for all, I hold the same opinion that it is a right and a need for everyone to have the same level of education. I think that basic education should be mandatory and that everyone has to have at least a high school degree or equivalency, regardless if they want to pursue a college degree or not. With so many different perspectives of what the educational system should entail, it is difficult to come to a solid conclusion that would be appeasing to all parties involved. Although some of the perspectives overlap with one another, many of them are lost among the mixes, which could possibly make or break a child's ability to learn successfully. After researching the educational system in Canada and seeing the reason for their success rates is because they work with the students on an individual level, would a similar program be able to be set up and function here in the US in the same way? Since our educational systems and budgets do not allow for such a program as of now, I do not think it would be plausible, but it is definitely something that future educators like myself need to keep in mind because it has been proven to be effective and we should look into something similar. Initial perspective on achievement gaps is that teachers should not be blamed for the students' lack of progress, and I think that schools need to understand that all students do not learn on the same level and their understanding and achievement levels will not be the same as a result, and to hold teachers accountable for something that is out of their control is sheer ignorance. After our discussion about achievement gaps within the classroom, I believe that even though all students learn on various levels, there are steps and tactics that teachers can use to ensure students understand and comprehend what is being taught in the class. And if after all measures have been exhausted and the student is still falling behind, that should not be a reflection of the teacher's teaching skills. Rather, it should be concluded to be circumstances outside of the educational realm. What would be the result of students who are, even after all extra effort is put in, continue to fail? Since there is a high percentage of kids who continue to fall through the cracks within programs such as No Child Left Behind, there needs to be more focus on what can be done to help those students. As a future educator, that means a lot of research into new means of teaching as well as creative implementation of existing material. My initial perspective when it comes to technology within the classroom is that it is important for schools to keep their technology up to date as best as they can. If we expect students to be able to learn and function within a fast-paced, technologically advanced society, then we need to constantly be exposing them to the vast types of technology that is out there. Also, students think and learn on various levels, and technology should be used as a tool that can help nurture those students that are not otherwise able to keep up with the rest of their class. After our class discussion on technology in the classroom, my perspective on the subject has changed. I think that although the ideal educational system would incorporate any and all types of new technology into the classroom, the fact of the matter is that there is not enough resources or budget to even consider an idea like this in the majority of the public schooling systems. And because it is such a difficult resource to attain, majority of the teachers have to find and adapt new tactics that would help their students to learn without being too costly. Would it be possible for school systems to be unified in the amount and type of technology that is provided in each classroom? Although there have been major budget cuts, I think it would be plausible for school systems to at least have equal number and quality of materials that are given to each teacher. This is a serious issue for future teachers like myself to constantly have to troubleshoot for spotty technology and equipment, and I hope when it comes time for me to actually be teaching in a classroom that it is not an issue I'll have to deal with.